Good afternoon, everyone. I figured I would come on and do kind of a quick scope before the children come home from school. If you have any questions about this scope or any of the ones in Catch when you're here on the replay, feel free to send me a message on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those places where I'm CreativLEI. Hi, Gwenny. How are you? Hello. Good afternoon. So I've been working on a coloring page. Excuse me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lisa. I blog at CreativLEI.com. We're looking at life creatively. Hello, everyone. Hi, Tina, Kim, Robin, Shannon. Oh goodness. Hi, Cass. So I've been working on a page. I got contacted by one of the leaders of a local MOPS group that she had downloaded my coloring pages for their meeting this month because they're talking about rest, and so adult coloring had kind of come up in the conversation, and so they've gotten my coloring pages and they're going to be using those in the meeting. And then she let me know what their key verse is this year, and so I am working on a coloring page for them of mostly it's the quote. I didn't do a whole lot of art, but so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the tripod and flip the camera and you guys can see what I'm working on. I know that there are lots of you that have just recently started the Love Your Lettering. Hi, Gigi. You're stuck in the lettering course because you don't have the calligraphy pen. Oh, yeah, there's lots of different pens out there. As I was saying, I know that a bunch of you have recently started the lettering course, and I'm getting some comments back for needing some help with spacing and things like that. So hopefully, maybe later tonight we'll get on and do a lettering scope that kind of coordinates with Love Your Lettering. Even though there's like no new posts on that series, but there's a whole new group of people that are going through it, which is awesome. So if you guys have specific questions for the Love Your Lettering series, write those down and we'll come back tonight probably. I like to say around 10ish because that's usually when my children are all in bed. I know I do like the late night scopes, except I've been trying so hard to go to sleep earlier so I can wake up earlier. You would love 3-line grids. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, for those of you that follow me on Facebook, or if you don't follow me on Facebook and wondering what that might be referring to, I am going to work on putting together lettering guide sheets that coordinate with Love Your Lettering. They, of course, are not going to be necessary to complete Love Your Lettering, but for those of you that have requested, I am going to try and work on that. That would be a PDF package that would be able to be purchased for download and printing. But that's kind of at least a couple weeks away because it's going to take me a while to get all those sheets done. So I'm going to put some guide sheets in there that you guys can use behind your work papers, and then there'll be printable sheets to go with that too. So I'm kind of working on that, and if you have requests for what you would like to see on guide sheets, like Robin said she'd like a 3-line sheet, that would be helpful for me for formatting what will best serve you guys. So while we're chatting, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the tripod. I'll flip it probably to landscape. All right. So here's the page that I'm working on. And this is Isaiah 55:12. Let's see if I can tilt down a little bit. I've got my tiny little tabletop tripod here. So we'll see if I can get it to stay up. And that's up too far. Ah, I thought I had it all set up. The washi tape obsession. Yeah, sorry about that. Luckily, it's fairly inexpensive, except for when you're getting into numerous rolls, right? Okay, so as you can see, I do a lot. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I know, it's like enabler. I've got lots of copies here where I was trying to work with the layout and what I wanted to do for which pieces wanted to be doodled, and then kind of getting the lettering layout. So it looks a little messy, but it makes sense to me, and it helps me to find what I want to do for spacing and font style. And so this is the one that I'm working on now, and this will be closer to the final page, you know, after everything gets erased and stuff. So the verse is, "For you shall go out in joy and be led in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands." So this is mostly lettering art with just small doodles. I've got mountains here, it's just kind of like a rocky edge. I'm going to do some hills here that I might be playing with a little bit more. There's a little bit of doodling in the arrows. Thank you, Robin. And we've got a banner up there, and then I'm going to do some of the letters in an arrow. Singing, I'm going to do in musical notes, and then I've got a tree here that I'll doodle out a little bit more. I have made adult coloring pages. There's a set of 8 sheets available for download on my blog currently. Hopefully in the future I'll have more, and possibly I would love to work on having books printed as well, because I know that not everybody likes to print from home. So I'm kind of working on that. It's all in the planning stages at this point. For the new year. So I'm going to move this up a little bit because I thought it looked a little bit jumbled over here. So teach a Craftsy lettering class. I've never actually looked into teaching on Craftsy. Of course, I've taken things there and I'm an affiliate for Craftsy, but I've never thought of teaching there. It's funny, I really did enjoy teaching directly here on Periscope and on my blog. This pen is the Zig Millennium, and it's just a fine point pigment ink pen, and I'm using the 03. So I've been using a bunch of different ones. I've got the 005, 05, 08, and 03 are the main sizes I'm using. I'm just using a regular mechanical pencil, and then I'll also be using my Tumbo brush pens, which if you've been here before, you know that those are my favorite brushes. So, and I know some of you have just recently tried them, you got them for Christmas, so hopefully everyone's enjoying that. And so a lot of this would be kind of typography and faux calligraphy style. How did I get started doing this as a hobby? I started studying lettering in middle school with formal calligraphy in middle school and high school. And then from there, it just kind of grew. I've always been a doodler. I missed your Zig Millennium is very similar to the fine point Sharpie, if that was what your question was. So I know recently I got a comment on the blog asking regarding the faux calligraphy, how to get the lines smooth when you're adding those thicker downstrokes. And I think it depends on the size that you're working in, and you see that mine are not completely smooth to start with. I will go over it again. And the smaller that you work, the harder that is to get smooth. As you're working bigger, it's a little bit easier to go. So I know this looks a little chaotic because I'm drawing over lines, and I'm not exactly tracing them, but I'm switching layout a little bit. So, but it's still, I can see what the previous spacing was and what I wanted to improve on. So these, I'm not aiming to make these really smooth. I want them to be sketchy lines since they're going to be used as coloring pages. So when I've done the coloring pages before, what I try to do is add lots of little lines that can be done in contrasting colors and things like that, so that you guys can add your own flavor and flair to them. And for those of you that have been with me for a while and know about our housing situation, I can unofficially tell you and share with you that we have a verbal offer on the house. We don't have the final contract back, but it's looking really, really good, and it's amazing. As the details start to get finalized, I'll share more and more about it, but it's completely God, because I will tell you that over the past week or so, both my husband and I really came to peace about the fact that this is probably where God wants us right now, and that He's not going to move us in this season, but He is kind of coming through in huge, huge ways, and it's just amazing. I'm like kind of here in disbelief that it's working out the way that it is. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. It's always in His time, and I know that, but it's still hard to kind of live that. So for the hills, I just wanted kind of soft rolls, and I'm going to add like little grass blades here too. Yeah, I do believe that God has a sense of humor, and He is frequently sharing it with my husband and I. Sometimes we can only laugh after the fact. It is. His timing is quite hard, I think, most of the time. I know that I've watched things come together seemingly smoother for others, but in our case, it's always He likes to see how we'll work through it. Thank you. Yes, I would certainly appreciate that, because it's certainly not over yet. We've got a lot more to process with inspections and things like that. Okay, so let's see. I've got joy and peace, mountains and hills, and now I'm putting this arrow here for shall break forth. And I'm going to move the arrow up a little bit. And this is the 03, which is one of the thinner. It's certainly not the thinnest. Okay, and I'm going kind of sketchy style. And then, yeah, I do a lot by eye. How is your day going? What's new with all of you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll stay on, because my children should be coming off the bus momentarily, and then we've got to get ready for dance. But I thought I would jump on for a little bit. Paper flowers with tissue paper, or I've done coffee filter roses, which are really fun. Yeah, I've been catching Erica's broadcast. I am not going through Money Saving Mom's course, just because I knew I couldn't add one more official thing. Okay, cardstock, cool. Hi, Crystal. First day back to usual? Yeah, it's sort of our first day back to usual, too. Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay, so now to do the lettering, I'm going to switch to a slightly thicker pen. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save the lettering on that and do more of the doodles. so that I have my layout. Second day back on plan. Yeah, yesterday was my first day back on plan, and I did great for breakfast. I had my lunch way too late. AP chemistry, ooh. I had my lunch way too late, and then at dinner time, I like completely blew it off plan with Chinese food. So, I did not start on the first just because I knew it was a weekend and I have an easier time starting. I didn't see your UB comment. I'm sorry. I have an easier time resetting my head for Mondays than I do for weekends. Alright, so I think maybe I'll draw in the tree first. That way I can scooch the music notes. Yeah, I don't know, it's silly, but it works. Okay, you got the UB watercolors? Oh, the multicolor pen, the 8 ink pen. That's not a bad thing. It's cheaper than 8 different pens. Yeah, it works. I do like color coding things. I'm still working on my planner layout for this year so that I can share it with you guys. Maybe Mondays are a lefty thing. Health challenge. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of doodling out the tree here. I want to make sure I don't run into the arrow. Excuse me. We're all still kind of getting over colds. So I'm going to be moving these music notes up and over a little bit. And now I'll go back over it so that it gives kind of some place to add different colors. That's the fun thing about creating these coloring pages, is I get to be really whimsical. Maybe I'll put this one up on the blog too. It's been a while since I've added a new coloring page. So, or maybe I'll just send it out to my subscribers. That would be good too, because you guys have not gotten anything from me in a while. So, let's see. So now let's move over those music notes, and I want to move the 2 beats closer together since I'm splitting singing between the 2 of them. I want them to kind of be right on top of each other. So actually I'll probably leave this one and just move the other one up. Thank you. Okay. So let's get some letters written in. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 08, or hold it that way, 08. And then I'm going to add some doodle lines over here. Let's get the thinner one too. 03 was a little too thin. So those of you that are lefties, you'll notice I skip around a lot, and that's intentional because I'm trying to give ink a chance to dry so that I don't end up smearing it with my left hand. So a lot of times that's how I'll cope with preventing smudges, is just to move around the page to give the ink a chance to dry. Thank you. So let's doodle in here. I go right to left a lot. Sometimes I'll pencil it in first, and then I'll go from bottom to top and right to left, and that helps a lot. It just depends on the piece that I'm working on. Excuse me. This is actually henna, and I did the forearm on Periscope the other day with my word of the year, and then on Instagram I shared the pictures of my hands. These are kind of the areas I want to work on this year that I need focus on. And so this is, you're a righty with lefty habits. Tina, you need to send me a picture of your henna so I can see how it came. Alright, and so we'll add, switch to, nope, I have the 5. Yeah, it's not too much with the fading, which is surprising because in the winter my skin is super dry. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry. There you go. You're welcome. We have someone who's potty training. It usually lasts, my hands will last about 2 weeks, and I would expect the forearm to fade actually pretty quickly because that skin exfoliates faster. So I would expect that that would only be around for about a week or so. I was surprised that my hands got as dark as they did because I didn't follow good aftercare. I was trying to avoid water, but we had company, so I had to wash dishes. So, but in that first 24 hours that you have a fresh stain, the longer you avoid water, the better, because it gives the henna stain a chance to oxidize. Yeah, you have a henna too. Sweetie, you need panties on. Yes. You got fuzzies? You need to go wash your hands. Okay, it's because your hands are sticky. Okay, so it's slowly coming together. So lots of mixing of font types here. You can put your Legos away. Where is your phone? Okay. Alright, now that I've got, let's see, sorry. Got too many pens open here. Okay, so that's the 3. Putting the wrong caps and stuff. sign that I've got way too many pens out. Shall break forth. Oh, good. I'm so sorry that you're dealing with a headache. Annalise? The one that I just used is it's the Tombow hard tip brush pen. It's one of the Fudenosuke pens, but this is the hard tip, and it's not focusing. Oh, and children are home, and dog is barking. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Your package just hit the mail today. Sorry for the delay. I had to find all my packing material. That's probably been the challenge for getting the house, keeping it like market ready and everything, is we've put all these different things away, like my different packing bags and things like that, envelopes, and then finding them when I need to use them is always fun. Okay, so I'm probably going to finish up here soon since my public schoolers are home. Thanks, Gigi. Yeah, mine just walked in the door. Thank you guys for being here chatting while I doodle. We do. We have actually been under contract in the home that we wish to buy since November, and we have a contingent contract on the sale of our house, and so it's been a lot of waiting, and then we had to extend our contract or request an extension. It was accepted because we didn't meet the first deadline that we had set, so it was extended, and things are looking really good now. Yeah, so it will, if everything goes according to how it's planned right now, we will be moving the last day of February. Thanks, Heather. So, yeah, I know, I think it was Kara asked if I was doing any of the Write the Scripture challenges. And I think I did get a notebook set up for it. Thanks. And I'm not even talking very much. That's awesome. I'm always so glad when others want to really learn more lettering. Just because even if you don't get into the artsy side of it, embracing your handwriting and improving that just is a huge thing.
this makes me want to learn lettering for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's fun to work with the different Bible verses because each one of them kind of lends itself to different lettering styles, and different little doodles and stuff that you can add. I I do not I don't podcast, and I don't listen to podcasts, so I don't have recommendations. Oh, Cass, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I know a lot of Bible journalers and planner girls really are working this year towards improving their handwriting. And so that's kind of awesome all around.
How come you didn't leave lowercase and uppercase?
I just like to switch them up. Zaner blows her in college. Yeah, I think when we look at it from the different perspective of getting to use it creatively, it makes it makes it more fun than just trying to follow the rules of handwriting. But if you understand that you can learn the rules and then put your own stamp on it, I think that's where the fun really lies. Oh goodness, I just saw another question and I missed it. Oh, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, but I honestly don't know how to use it well. I've never delved into editing my videos. So it's there, I have it, but I don't use it well. I think when I first got on Periscope before, oh, sorry. When I first got on Periscope before Catch was a thing, I did upload one or two cooking scopes onto YouTube, but it's very rough. Just because I was brand new to Periscope, definitely camera shy. Yeah, I like switching. I think it depends on what I'm trying to create. Thank you. I've been doing lettering since middle school and really focusing on creative lettering probably in the past 10 years or so. But I had basic calligraphy from middle school and high school. So we're talking over 20 years. I'm not that young. So yeah, it depends on what I'm working on. If I'm doing a more formal piece, I wouldn't switch pens as much. But this is a coloring page for a local MOPS group. And this is their verse of the year. So definitely switching up a lot more and doing some doodles for them. I do have a blog post of a ton of books, that I either own or have borrowed from the library or on my wish list for lettering. And that blog post is actually the last of my lettering, or one of the last of my lettering series. And I believe it's called, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Sorry. Usually I have all these things at my hands, but okay. Helpful Books for Lettering is the name of the blog post. And I try to really only recommend books that I have physically used and flipped through, because there's lots of books out there. Yes, I'm still here, but I'm just about done before I let this rest and then come back to erase it. I'm a big, I feel very convicted to only share and recommend things to you that I have personal use of, because I totally understand that many of these tools and things are quite an investment. I will be using the Mono Sand Eraser. So this is actually sand and rubber. So the sand eraser is helpful anytime I have a smudge, because it will remove ink and pencil, and then the rubber is great for pencil. But I'm not going to do that until this ink has had a good long time to set. It's a pigment ink, and if I go over it too quick, it will smudge. And ask me how I know, because I've done it numerous times. Alright, so let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip it one last time as we finish up here. Okay. So there it is. It'll be all cleaned up, scanned in, and cleaned up on the computer. And I will send this out. This is for a local MOPS group, but I will also send it out to my subscribers, if that would be something you guys would enjoy. And I'll have to figure out where I'm sticking my signature. So I usually try to find little places to put that in. So thank you guys for tuning in. It was good to chat, and I will try to be on later tonight, probably around 10ish, just to go over some questions and answers from the Love Your Lettering Challenge for those that are going through that have just started, so that hopefully I can help answer any questions that people might have regarding some of those assignments. So thank you. So yeah, Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast. Sorry. So I will see you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in.